you have no joke.
Yep, we are live
Uh,
now. Hi. Hello. Sorry,
hey.
Frosty and I have been chatting. Hello, welcome to issue 130 of the Pitch Nerds. We are the show where a couple nerds assemble to bring you the latest nerdy news, reviews, and occasionally pitch things. I'm Cap, and with me today, as always, best friend, fellow nerd, and my god, looks like a 90s cool kid, but finally aged 90s cool kid, Mr. Frosty. Mr. Frosty,
I
how
am
are
a
you?
90s cool kid. What do you mean? Yeah.
Anyways, we've been chatting for a few minutes, so we're pre-gamed right now. So, my
Wait, no.
my goodness,
Hang on.
we what are we talking about today? So we have we'll be discussing the finale of X-Men '97.
Well,
We
not the finale. We got one more to go.
we have one more to go.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought that was
Hey,
no, I thought that was
I
it.
missed the finale. That was episode 9.
Yeah, is there 10? I thought there was 9.
It's a 3-part finale.
Okay,
So there's one more.
is there one? Okay, so oh my god.
Yeah, because
Holy
how did the last one end? I just want to make sure I'm not being like really
the
stupid right
the
now.
the 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 Wolverine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was episode 9, dude. Don't do that to me.
I thought that was
I
the
missed
finale.
one.
My
No.
God, that wasn't the finale.
No.
Holy shit!
No. That was part 2 of 3.
No, I don't know. They part things weird. I don't know.
Yeah, you should listen to me. I'm on your show, and I said this every week. I'm like, okay, so we're on this now. We come to
Well,
the
I know
three-parter.
we're on this, but I thought it ended at episode 9. It was 1, 2, and 3.
It's
Anyways,
okay. Like,
it's okay.
I'm waiting for your brain to just be like remembering me in a thought bubble, and then you're like, ah, damn it, he's right. That did happen.
Sort of. Anyways, my goodness, we are going to be pitting Captain America versus Darth Vader. We'll be talking our Behold Nerds, which is Has Been Hotel. Got a lot to say about that. Plus many, many, many more fun activities. Brain, my
We're
precious.
getting a couple of things on Twitter. That's why I'm a little bit distracted.
Okay,
Thank you at Real Super Killers.
my brain lost his foot.
These people. Don't thank any of these people. No, I also wanted to give a special shout out to I wrote down before a show. Come on, brain. Oh, Monarch. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
It's
what does my speech bubble in your head look like?
It's not. It's just smoke. And there's image missing or something. Actually,
It's just a broken PDF.
Morgan, she can't see pictures in her brain.
Oh,
Some people can't.
I've heard of this. God, what's that like?
Yeah, what's weird is most people, we're blowing people. Anyone, well, maybe not.
You're blowing people?
No, I would say we're blowing people's minds, but we got if we're lucky, we'll get 50 people watch this. But by the way, that's more likely to happen when you guys retweet, all that kind of stuff. So please do.
Yeah.
But I know I hate doing that, but honestly, when we say it, we actually do get the odd like and retweets. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck, where was I going? Oh yeah, so she can't see pictures in her mind. But what's interesting is people that can't do that often don't know the other type exist. People who can don't know people can't, and people who can't don't know. And it's same with certain people can't. They have no inner monologue.
Weird.
And also some people, maybe this is you, because I've been called a liar before because I'm some people can't dream in color.
I dream in color.
Yeah, and I said I was describing a dream, and they're like, "Yeah, dreams are black and white." And I was like, "What? No."
Yeah.
And then it turns out it was just that's how his reality is. It's interesting, stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. But yeah. So what's interesting is fellow nerd Joe, if he's not right in front of his wife's face, she doesn't know what he looks like.
Wait, say that again?
If Joe is not right there, she has no idea what he looks like.
So how does
she knows because as soon as she sees him, her brain, but she can't picture him.
So she can't describe what he looks like? Or
She might be able to just from, but she can't imagine his face. Like I can imagine his face right now, and it's crystal clear to me.
mm-hmm.
And I'd be like,
Right.
oh, he's got a beard, he's got
Yeah,
glasses, his shape's like this.
yeah.
Like she
Like-
can't see any of that.
Like a healthier Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no offense, but homeboy Joe, you've gotten pretty big lately.
Well, he does live with Morgan, who is a wonderful cook.
A wonderful cook, yeah.
Yeah.
And also he's got a kid and everything. I know, but like, I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, it's more. He knows this. We had a long discussion about this because I love you, and I just went through a lot of hell shit myself.
So my brain, because I've been doing a lot of therapy stuff and doing some research, so my brain is actually designed.
Sorry. Pause real fast. I want to finish my point. Monarch Daffy, at Monarch Daffy, you like every single episode, like on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I just want to say big shout out, thank you. Follow him on Twitter again. I'll post it in the chat. But he's Krakowan and proud. Longshot is the greatest X-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a comic and manga fanatic. He's Chicago sports junkie, and he spreads love for comics and loves posting about them.
Okay.
So check him out on Twitter.
Cool. Anyways, moving on. What do we got? We should move on to some nerdy news, right? Yeah?
Yeah. But you were saying something.
Oh, no. We were talking about dumb brains. Let's move on to not dumb brain stuff. Yeah, let's move on.
Ruptured brain. Actually, that is a question I've been meaning. I want to insert in this episode. Actually, I have it written down. Is anybody that is watching, and whether you comment on Twitter, whether you just talk to us, or I know most of you guys watch this later, so I know that's like a big, anybody that does watch, that's where we get most of the reviews, as few as we get. But let us know which parts of the show you like. Honestly, because if you love the nerdy news part, because that seems to be the most popular, then we can expand it. They like it when me and you tend to go off on random tangents.
I like that too.
But and just kind of just shooting the shit about stuff. But if there's other segments you like let us know what works, what doesn't work, and we can adjust, because I think we do a good job, but it's good to get the feedback. I know my audio is always an issue. I'm gonna do another check in a minute.
Oh, you're still fantastic.
I'm fantastic on your end, but it's always weird on the playback on YouTube. Well, not always. It just gets messed up. Okay, yeah. Nerdy news. So I thought I would first bring up the thing that's most discussed. We were talking with another podcast channel. I'll probably drop them later. But the Superman suit has been released.
The memes have been hilarious.
There's a lot of memes. You've seen that side of things. I've seen a lot of people saying they love it, a lot of people saying they don't love it.
Right.
A lot of people claiming that their side is right and here's evidence why, and a lot of people claiming their side is right, and then Warner Brothers stock just bit. It's all stupid. What do you think, Cap?
Okay, so I am going to refer to a movie that a particular franchise that Frosty knows just how much it just strikes me on a spiritual chord, just how much hatred I have for this franchise. The Michael Bay Transformers universe. Now,
that is not what I thought you were going to say.
I know. So,
but yeah, go for it.
So one of the things I didn't like about this Bayverse is you looked at these characters and most of them were unrecognizable. Who the fuck is that? That's not Jazz. What is that? It's one thing to reimagine, but it's another thing to be unrecognizable. And just, I'm looking at this Superman thing and be like, huh, that's cool. It's Superman. That's great. It's Superman. There's Superman. What's the big deal? I don't understand. There's no... I look at that, Frosty. At any point when you were looking at that, do you think, huh? Is that Bumblebee? Is that a Wheeljack?
No, okay,
what the fuck is that?
I get your point. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's not. It was recognizable as the character,
right? It's nothing offensive. It's Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I totally get it. I mean, you're right. I mean, absolutely, it is Superman. Like, I
Right.
think I even made that point myself. It doesn't look like a bad Superman.
No.
And I think it. Now the question is like, how good is it?
Right.
I think is what people are coming at. I think it looks excellent. But the weird thing for me about this, and it might be my background, and
Mm-hmm.
because like, so Gus at Real Super Killers, he summoned my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He did it like with on Twitter with a guy raising a sword. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was like, I summoned the pitch nerds, and then so I gave my opinion, but like it was like I explained my opinion, and then like he was focusing on something else, and then I explained my opinion again to other people, and it's like my words are not resonating. I don't know. It's like we're talking about two different things.
Well,
The
so
I looked at it.
tell me.
Okay, so I looked at it, and I'm like, that's a really cool piece. And then I thought about what the piece said to me, and what it said to me was, it's Superman. He's just like the at least the emotion behind it that I received. Like,
Mm-hmm.
'cause I look at art as art.
Right.
Superman, he's probably just saved the world.
Right.
His suit kind of has like some like dirt on it up here, or at least even if it's not intentional, that was my read on it.
Right.
A little because there's it like looks a little,
Right.
and he's putting on his boots because right out the window
Is a
is a
thing.
big ass explosion,
Right.
and it's like he's just like he's
He's
not
he's trying to
he's not
accept
mad, he's
it.
not happy,
He's
he's just like, this is what I have to do.
right. And I think I absolutely agree with you there, because as I recognize Superman, as I okay, that's Superman, and then I
What I mean,
immediately
so that was my opinion. That
yes.
was my opinion is
Mm.
that was my opinion of that piece.
Right.
Now the one thing I pointed out, as I said, will it translate to film?
Right.
Because I look at that piece as a print production piece, or a flyer, digital flyer, or whatever you want to look at.
Mm.
And the reason I look at it through that lens is because I was a commercial designer for a while,
Mm.
and so I've done movie posters
Right.
and promo art and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's why I look at it that way. And if that was mine, I would be like wickedly proud of that. You kidding me?
Right.
And like I would have the biggest grin on my face. And then everyone's like, I'm like, so will it translate to film? And they said, well, I think the suit will, because of this and this, or I don't like the suit because, oh, look, it's bunched up here.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and all these points about it. And I'm just like, does no one look at art as a piece of art anymore? Like, what's your emotion? What are your feelings? Like,
Right. So
like,
so really quick, I remember years ago it was, and you might have seen something like this. It's a picture, and there's somebody in bed, and then you see somebody getting out of bed, and they're kind of fumbling with socks, and the question is, are they coming or going? And it that's kind of what jumped in my head when I first saw this. Once I identified, oh, it's Superman, and then I looked a little bit deeper into it and said, okay, well,
right,
is he
that's what I mean. You're giving your opinion on the piece.
right?
So that's you're like going, was he coming or going? So that's your interpretation. That's
Right.
your truth. That's what you drew from it.
Right.
That's what I'm interested in discussing. But yeah, continue. I'm interested.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a young Superman. Is he coming or going? He looks exhausted, but he's accepting who he is. It conveyed everything it needed to convey, and if you zoom in, I see red trunks. I see the red trunks in there.
Yeah.
But they're streamlined. They're not the diaper trunks. They look streamlined. So it's Superman. It conveyed everything it needed to convey. Shut up and take my money. That's it. Yeah. Final answer.
Wait for the audio to catch up.
Yeah, yeah. Sounding good. Sounding good. We are sounding good.
I know. It's annoying.
Did you watch that?
Just waiting
Did
to hear my voice.
do you get the that nerd crew thing that I sent you with the Red Letter Media guys? We sound fantastic. For those of you watching, if we don't sound fantastic, it's my buttery baritone. Ooh.
I should have been talking more. I hope I'm okay. If I'm not, please someone tell me. We had people watching all last show. Nobody told me how quiet I was. And then when watching the playback, I'm like, oh God. And it's because the problem is like sometimes in the software, because it picks up from your computer, it blows out my audio.
Mm.
And then sometimes, so I started quieting it and moving the mic back. But then I think I went too far, so then I was too quiet. So I hope I got it about right. Let me know.
I can always turn the volume up on your
No,
output
no, no, no,
capture.
no, 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 no. Because it'll blow out. Now I'm adjusting things on my end. So
All right.
don't mess with our ears. That's the problem. It's like a lot of these other shows, they have someone like being like, okay, yeah, like turn your mic up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't gotta do that.
No.
If you want to be that for us, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll
So-
send you pizza sometimes. Probably not.
Yeah. No, we will. I definitely will. I mean,
Anyway.
we will share in the enjoyment of the pizza.
Yes. So yeah, Superman suit. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it was great. That was my impression. I think it's weird that people are hyper focused on it. As far as how does it look, if we're just considering it as a suit,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah.
I think he looks great. The actor, I'm
Mhm.
more interested in also his performance. I don't know. I just think this like where you're like, look at that little cleft of his right boot.
Yeah.
Um,
It's wrong, Frosty. It's
I know,
wrong.
right. Okay, so Deadpool was off limits to be used in X-Men '97, says Bo DeMayo.
Okay.
Is it DeMayo or DeMayo?
DeMayo.
DeMayo. See, I should never be saying people's names because if you've been watching this for any period, as soon as I see something like they're words I've read, but I just could never. Like I'm the biggest Norse mythology Thor fan. Everybody knows this. I always thought it was Mjolnir for a long time, and then I was like, wait, it's probably Mjolnir, and then I'm like, is that even right? I love Google because you can click and then it's like,
Right.
blah blah blah. They did it in Dungeons and Dragons and D&D Online thing. I had no idea. The dragon's name would be just like consonants followed by a string of vowels.
So that's one of the hardest things about quantum is writing, like making things like sound alien, but making them phonetically feasible without having to rip out your tongue. Like, remember how you can't say Spock's real name because just the human tongue is incapable. So you have to sort of shorthand a little bit. Like Spock is fine. Give it the Spock treatment.
Dude, I'm telling you, you got to see that show Resident Alien. It is so funny because they make fun of the aliens in it, like because there are more in the later seasons,
Right.
and just the way they interact with each other, like yeah, they have weird words. They're like, "Argh!" and they're making crazy sounds, and then like there's a bird alien, and like he likes birds for whatever reason. Like he's really attracted to them. Like she brings over an emu when his girlfriend breaks up with him, and he's like, look, I'm not gonna do anything. We can just stand around and talk. He's talking to the emu. That's how into birds he is. He's like, you certainly aren't a nice looking bird. It's the guy who plays Wash.
Yeah. Alan Tudyk.
Yeah. But the bird alien, right? The episode where like they hook up, he like flies down and they're like doing some weird alien shit to each other, and then like she decides to come in to see her. She, boom, right into the window. It's so good. Anyway, but yeah, Deadpool was off limits in X-Men '97. I mean, I get it. He's their cash prize right now, so they're being careful with him.
They don't need him in X-Men '97.
They don't, but
I mean,
I would do an older Deadpool, like back when he was a little bit more serious.
So he was in briefly the OG X-Men. Briefly, and this is before he was like the merc with the mouth. He was just more the assassin type.
In the show?
Yep. Briefly, he came in. I remember them being on a subway or some type of train or bus or something. He appeared. He didn't say anything really. He just sort of showed up.
I know there was in the background. So my question is, OG X-Men. Why is Warpath and Gargoyle in the lineup of evil mutants going like in the intro, boom, against each other? I was always like, why is Warpath there? And then I was like, why is Gargoyle there? Like they're never in the show.
don't even know who those characters are.
Warpath, he's the
Wait,
Native American.
oh, okay. I think I know Warpath. I'm not sure who Gargoyle is, or maybe I do.
Gargoyle, he was on the Hulk cartoon. Did you ever watch that?
God, maybe a few.
So says the leader. And then Gargoyle's just like, he's a little henchman guy.
God,
You never watched that?
I did,
Oh
but
my God,
I vaguely remember.
I am adding that to the list of crap for us to watch.
Just
right
shovel
now.
it.
You want to know the stupidest episode? Because in later seasons they brought in She-Hulk, and she was fine.
Right.
There's an episode where, and it's not because it's like girl power or any of that. It was just, I was, what? Like, she goes to a beauty pageant, and so all the models are like, look how good we are being models, and then she comes out and she's She-Hulk. So wow. But then, like, terrorist attack.
Oh.
And then even though they aren't superheroes, the models kind of are. Like, one of them just casually, like, kicks the fucking, like, thing off of a ceiling like it's no big deal. She's like, yeah, let's take these.
That's badass.
I guess when I say it, it sounds badass. But I'm like, why can they do this? They're people. They're just humans. They don't have powers. They're not well trained. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't matter. They're under threat, Mr. Frost.
Everything you say makes total sense when you say it now, and I sound like I'm being irrational. I agree with everything you say right now.
Maybe it's the fact that it is ridiculous and unexpected is what makes it awesome. Because that's sort of the subversion, right? Like, you hear these hot supermodels and...
I think I remember something as a child as not being cool, and you just made it cool by, like, listening to the way I described it, which is weird.
Right. Like Captain and the Game Master, or the original Legend of Zelda cartoon. Oh, God.
Yeah, but you explained those and you realized they were bad. I mean, She-Hulk is still not, like, I mean, those, like I said, it was cheesy. So says the leader.
Right.
But it was
actually,
it was still kind of good.
Well, want to know the show that had the weirdest premise, I think, was Big Bad Beetleborgs. You had giant mechs, you had haunted houses. It was just such a weird grab bag of just silliness.
And then the Jay Leno guy.
Yeah!
I was just like, it's Jay Leno. It was the giant chin.
The giant chin. Was there like a Frankenstein too, or like a...
Yeah, they were classic monsters.
Yeah,
I
okay.
forget what kind of monster he was, but yeah, there was like a wolf man. Like Beetleborg, I know that is not tied to your name, but she knows this show. like let us know in the comments. Like, I remember the song. Yeah.
Big bad Beetleborg.
It was because they did the thing where they made an American show.
Yeah.
A Japanese show.
Yeah.
So anytime you saw them in suits, that was just, and then they just like, hey, let's just
make a spooky ghost show. VR Troopers was still my favorite of the three.
I think they all sucked, but
I mean,
Phantom Menace is the most watched Star Wars movie on Disney Plus ever. So that's the one everybody's watching.
Good. You know what?
Really?
So, okay.
I was like, really? Like that's the one people want to watch?
So you have to look at it in its totality.
No.
Yeah. Star Wars is a beautiful mess of multiple... No, I'm not going there.
No, I just mean it's not a good movie.
No, it is not a good movie. But like you said, Mr. Frost, Star Wars is the pizza of entertainment. You can arrive late to a pizza party and be stuck with the slice that nobody wants. And you have to like pick around it, and you eat it. You try to enjoy it. It's still pizza, but
you got to do what you got to do. It is. I mean, at the time, it was a death by snoo. Upon rewatch, it becomes a you got to do what you got to do because you realize there's cool stuff in it,
right?
Which elevates it, but there's also the worst.
This would make a great like Rocky Horror type scenario where you just rent out a small theater, get a group of diehards in there, and it's a loving roast of something that's just a beautiful train wreck. It truly is just this disaster that is just gorgeous and so awful, but just what are we watching?
I think it's one of those movies that
It's
like it's aged well enough that like not it's aged well, but like it was shit, but like everybody saw it,
mm,
so it's like we remember it, and then been given like worse shit, and
yeah.
so you're like that other shit isn't as bad.
So
Like,
that makes me wonder how much of this is in response to people not enjoying the sequel trilogies, where now that we
well,
have.
yeah, but, I mean, I just think that's like, in my opinion, the the reason Phantom Menace is the most watched
Mm,
is because by today's level
s-
of enjoyment of movies,
mm,
the old ones are too old. That one's just new enough that it's not too old for the younger generations.
mm.
I know the old ones. I'm not saying they're too old, but
Right.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
know what you're saying.
but, but and then like people younger than us, that was their first dip into Star Wars. So and of the first three, even though I think the last one's better, that one's the most approachable of the three.
Yes.
Um,
So,
and so I see why that one's the most watched. And even like what surprised me is I was like stupid. It should be Empire.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Because that's the correct answer.
It's always the correct answer.
I know, but that's such a dick thing to say.
No, it's not. It is the answer. The
No,
answer.
because you can't. If someone loves something else, look. If someone came on our show and looked me in the face and said "New Hope," I would go, "That's totally fine."
That's acceptable. That's
Yeah,
acceptable.
I will even accept
So,
Jedi.
you know what? I think I've gone through each one of those three movies has been my favorite at some point. They just sort of done this, and
Yeah, no,
then
totally.
Empire's just sort of to the top. Because originally I didn't like Empire, but it's kind of for the
Yeah,
same
'cause it's the
reason.
darker movie.
Right, but it's kind of for the same reason why when I was younger I didn't like Back to the Future 3.
Yeah,
It's just, but now that I've grown up and I see the totality, those are the better of the movies. The third Back to the Future is the better movie. The
I
second
think,
Empire Strikes Back is the superior movie. Period.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. For me, as a child, Jedi was by far my favorite.
Oh, Jedi
Um,
was my favorite. Um,
and then I got older, and it became A New Hope. And then I got older, and then it became Empire,
mhm.
and then nothing has surpassed Empire. I can't think if there's anything that's like. I mean, there's shows I've liked, but they aren't as good as nothing's as good as Empire. But nothing ever will be as good as Empire.
No,
And I've made nothing will ever be as good as RoboCop.
no,
You know what I mean?
no.
Like, or nothing will ever be as good as
Ghostbusters.
Terminator 2 for me, though I do respect the person that says Terminator 1 in the same way that I respect the person that says, oh, I like New Hope best.
Mm.
Actually, I should say this. I'm being a dick again. I respect any opinion. I don't even care if you love the sequels best. Um,
Sorry.
no, because even if I think they were the worst of them, that's cool, you know.
So,
And the reason I say that is like I remember, and I've brought this up before on our show. The sequels came out, and then my friends' kids, they all called me Uncle Frosty and all that.
mm.
Um, they fell in love with Star Wars because of that, because of the sequels.
so
They loved it so much they were dressing up as characters.
So Mrs. Cap got me for my birthday tickets to, or a ticket to the Star Wars celebration at Disneyland.
Oh yeah, you were saying.
So I'd never been before.
By the way, Cap is like a bit older. I don't really know how old. I'm wondering if he hit the big 40.
Oh, sexy motherfucker. Oh yeah. I actually just rolled over to my 41st orbit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew you were younger than me, but yeah, you're closer to me than I
tiny
thought.
bit. Dan's.
It's just when you get to our age, it's like stops mattering.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So anyway, so Star Wars Celebration. I had a coworker that went the previous year and said that it was really busy and it's just lines for photo ops. So, however, I didn't have that issue and it was great. So they had the map with all the characters. Now, Mr. Frosty knows my feelings on Star Wars, and I'm not going to dive into the details again on the show. However, I selectively cherry-picked my course throughout the evening, and it was nice as there was a lot of cosplay there. Um,
Yeah.
I mentioned that Mandalorian is new Davin Filth. If that means anything to anybody, good. We can be friends. Um, so the ceremony started with the March of the First Order, and it was Phasma, and she's walking around with her a squad of troopers. And it was cool. It's fine. I like Phasma. Phasma was stupidly underused. She was not used well.
No, she was. I agree
She-
with some joke channel where it was like Boba Fett and her high fiving.
Right.
Like, do you have really cool armor? She's like, I do. Do you get bodied in a second? And like when you show up, she's like, yeah, totally. And then they're like,
It just. I can
I like
look.
Phasma too.
I can look at the sequel characters as to what they could have been if
Yeah.
treated. But anyway, so there was one character.
I mean, that it is funny that history repeats itself. The coolest one is also in some ways the lamest one.
Right.
And that's what I kind of
So speaking of which,
wrong, but I was like, like I almost wonder if Abrams did that on purpose. Like, we're gonna make this really awesome character, everyone's gonna think it's cool. She's not gonna say much, and then when we finally see an action scene, she's gonna like drop like a sack of potatoes. And they're like, "Oh, you're doing a Boba Fett. Shh, shh, if anybody notices."
God damn it, that was his plan the whole time. So, I wanted to do one, and the photo op that meant the most to me. R5D4. Who is R5D4? Well, he it's the little astronaut. So, what is R5D4's?
Oh, he's the shitty. R5s are shitty.
No.
I know the one now. He's the one with the like more like.
Yeah. R5, the red one.
I
And the
did
red
an
one.
R5 unit in the very first episode of Pitch Nerds was my Star Wars pitch, and I picked an R5 unit. The reason I know is I did a bunch of research for this because our first show is literally just us.
I was talking about Star Wars for 17 hours.
Yeah, and then like, but I researched the shit out of R5, and I mean, yeah, you'll tell me he's not shitty for reasons, but
No. So okay, so
I used him as my comic relief.
yes,
But I didn't want to have it too hard. But I made jokes around him because she was always bitching at him.
Yeah.
And like, fucking thing. But also he was kind of helpful, like when she needed it.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what makes him great. So here is why R5D4 is the real savior of Star Wars. So in that scene, we have the lineup of the droids. We're introduced to our main protagonist. Well, into 30 minutes into his own movie, Leia's already had all this FaceTime. That this movie's already woke out the box, standing up to the main villain like he's no threat. Ugh, Vader, you're a bitch. I'm a strong woman. Yeah. Completely woke. So here comes this weenie kid. Here comes this weenie kid who just wants to go and play with his space friends and space toys and go to this Tashi stage. What else? He wants to go to GameStop is what he wants to do. He's a prick. He's this little wormy kid. His name is fucking Wormy by his friends. So his uncle is buying these fucking droids, and Wormy kid's thinking, I can get the fuck out of here with these droids. So he picks the fucking 3PO and the red one. Come on. And now R2's the one who's on the mission. He's got to get to Obi-Wan. So he starts screaming to 3PO, hey, asshole. Hey, I've got this fucking shit. We got to find this Obi-Wan guy.
Oh, I know what you're getting.
Yeah. So R5 hears this and he realizes, holy shit, there's this shit going on. I got to do something. So he blows his fucking motivator on purpose so that 3PO and R2 could be together.
I would just like to point out this is a reoccurring segment on the Pitch Nerds about how the actual savior is R5D4. I apologize right now to everybody out there.
People will say that it's the fucking TIE fighter guy who like collisions with the dude. No, fucking R2 wouldn't have fucking been there if it wasn't for R5D4. Period. Can you imagine Luke just hopping in this X-wing and freaking R2's freaking doing the trash compactor and everything? R5 wouldn't have been able to do that.
I accept your premise and I raised the ante. The guy who saved all of Star Wars from the New Hope upward was the guy who was like, Nah, don't fire on it. There's no way.
The guy who just showed up to work.
Because they live in a universe with droids. Like, that guy just was he even in charge, or was he just like, that's fucking stupid? You just have to be walking through the room, and then he said that, but really, and then for whatever reason they listened to that guy. Like, I don't know, but that guy.
So, you know, the implications of that is that they were shooting the escape pods as they were fleeing, and they just, oh, well, that one doesn't have any life form. Yeah, let's hold our fire, I guess. Yeah.
I know, but why?
They're saving space ammo.
Anyway. There we go. But yeah, people seem to be liking.
So what was great was I got my picture.
To me, it's always the Phantom Man-ass, but
yeah. So really quick, got my picture taken with R5, and there's two Jawas with R5. That wasn't R5's voice. They just took R2's freaking beeps and boops and plopped it into an R5. My brain was triggered. I didn't say nothing. I justified it by, as the Jawas tried to repair R5, they had an R2 beeper box, and they had to stuff it in there to fix it, so you now had R2 beeps. That's fine, Disney. I accept that. I give them credit.
Put me in a room full of Marvel people, like those actor guys that can't break character. I am their worst nightmare.
Oh my god, I'd love to be
could beat Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet? Well, actually.
So,
and then the guy's just like, "That's right."
Really quick, the best. So some of the larger characters like Darth Maul, Vader, Anakin, Padme, they were walked through so you can do selfies with them. Padme looked fantastic. She, like, whoever they got to play Padme nailed it. Anakin was cool. He was just broody. All the Disney Star Wars girls were gushing all over him. It was cool. He went home with several phone numbers that evening, I would imagine. I give them credit. There was just an Ewok listed on the map for a photo op, and the line was really long. And in my head, I'm thinking, if it's Wicked, I don't give a shit. Like, Disney, like, impress me with a Logray or a Chief Chirpa or just something. If it's a Wicked, I'm just gonna, I don't care. God damn it, Frosty. It was a Logray, and the line was too long, and I didn't get a chance to get my picture taken with Logray. Not only was it Logray, this person was owning the shit out of Logray. They had, like, a staff, and they were just like, total Ewok, and just all the Ewok bouncy energy. It was just awesome, but the line was monstrous, and I just accepted my losses. But anyways,
you know, my favorite favorite cosplay, like not even cosplays, favorite actor playing a character, like just it was like, wow, they did not try. It was when I was a kid. I had a family member who had box seats with the company they worked for at the Anaheim Ducks, and so we could go to any of those and just chill in the box seats, and it also meant any events. And so I asked if we could go to the Mortal Kombat live action stage show, and Jax was just a guy with like a t-shirt. You know how you can like turn your t-shirt backwards and kind of do that because he's supposed to have metal arms.
Yeah.
No, it was like a t-shirt. I was like, yeah. And then I was really excited to see Johnny Cage because it was right about the time when the Mortal Kombat movie came out. And he was kind of bad. He was the best one in that movie. And he got bodied in a second. And then he was just, his whole job was just to pretend to be unconscious. Well, Sonya was like, oh, I'll get Johnny. And then like Jax was like, oh, I'm Jax. And it was super lame. I was so happy though. I asked my mom what she thought, and she thought it was horrible. She was like, "They're hitting women," and like, I was like, "But the women are hitting back,
right? Like, all is fair."
It's D&D rules, Mom.
Right?
Like,
God, remember that segment of Jackass when Knoxville goes into the ring with like that Thai kickboxer or something, just knocks the ever-loving shit out of him.
It wasn't. It was Ryan Dunn. And,
it was okay.
Yeah, no, Johnny Knoxville went up against
Butterbean.
Butterbean, yeah.
Just
yeah.
Punch me once.
Anyway, let's keep plugging. Marvel Studios has issued a DMCA subpoena to discover who's behind the social media account that has posted various Marvel leaks, including pre-released images from Captain America: Brave New World.
Uh-oh.
So they are serious.
Uh-oh. Mess with the mouse. Watch this Kevin Feige. Trying to stir up trying to do a false flag.
Yeah. It's like that Death Clock episode where like they someone's like, or Metalocalypse episode where they're like, oh yeah, you know, someone's been stealing from the company, and then they investigate all their employees and everything, and then they're like, yeah, we found out who. No action's going to be taken. You know, like, what do you mean? Who was it? It was you guys. You've been stealing from your own company. And then they're like, oh.
So, really quick, I started watching that show. My Andy, it's one of his favorite shows, and I wasn't able to watch it at the time for reasons. So, I fucking love this show. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm not hating it, but it wasn't until I think it was the episode where they bring in their parents, and it's something about Murderface where he's being interviewed and then he's constantly pissing himself. Well, why is he pissing himself? Because he grew up in this really shitty, and it was that moment. It's like, oh.
Yeah, where you get it.
Like, oh, it was at that episode. Like, I didn't hate it, but it was at that episode where I finally understood it.
Sometimes shows go on, and it's not that they're bad. You're just like, I don't get the humor.
Right.
And then it takes that one joke.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, I get it now. and then it kicks in. For me, that was Tim and Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, this show is just, what is going on? And then they had that one show, and it was just like, my friends were like, you got to watch this. And it was like, they're doing a dance thing. And the guy's like leading the dance, and I guess they're supposed to be like kids or something. And then like the guy's like, he's like, yeah, now move like this, and they're like moving like that, and then everybody's happy. And he's like, think about your dad. I'd like to meet that dad. and those two lines is all it took. And I realized that was one of those shows where it hits so hard.
Right.
You know what else is the Adult Swim infomercials? Did you ever watch any of those?
Yeah. So it a lot of the stuff I'm watching after the fact but I'm able to appreciate them now that everything's sort of released, so I can watch like the totality of it. But yeah, it was.
They have all those up on Max.
Yeah.
Season.
So as I was watching, I mentioned this on the group chat. I kept hearing Mark Hamill's voice, like that is that Mark Hamill? And it was Mark Hamill. And that's great. I agree with you. I love the coffee. The show opens with this coffee. This coffee was a concert. Scream for cream. It's dropping the stage and it misses a target. Just people have to sign waivers. Like, that's metal. It's metal satire. I get it. Now that Dan has exposed me to metal, I get it.
I know the only thing that drives me crazy, and it's a small thing, I get it, but because metal has always been kind of underground, and then this show comes out, and then like people go, they see me, and then they go like, oh, you just watched too many Metalocalypse episodes, and I'm like, what? That was old news to me. I discovered metal in the 90s. Anyway, but yeah, so that sucks, I guess, for Disney, but you're right. I mean, at the same time, it's probably just promoting their shit. Although, I don't know. Everybody hates everything now. I hate the world. Cillian Murphy will officially exec produce. Is it Cillian? I have no fucking idea. No. 28 days later, he was the guy or 28 years later, he was the guy in the first one.
Yeah.
He was going to be the exec producer.
Cool.
No word on if he will actually star in the film. It's going to release June 20th, 2025 in theaters.
Okay.
I know you said you're excited to see it.
I'm worth it's
It was another one of those things where I was like, that sounds dumb, and then you were like, that sounds cool, and I was like, oh yeah, that does sound cool, so I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. Just it's been a long time since we've had anything pertaining to this universe, and I think Walking Dead is sort of just kind of ran its course, so it'll be nice to revisit this again to see where we last left off.
You were saying like you want to know where the show where I think you want to know what happened at the end of.
Yeah, because at the end of the second one, it ended with the the spread reaching Paris. So
The reason I didn't care was because I watched the second one and I went, well, that wasn't as good as the first one.
but
So
it
no
wasn't bad.
longer,
But it wasn't
it
bad.
wasn't bad, but it didn't exist in my brain. I
Okay.
pulled one of those moves where
Ah,
I was like, oh, that I, because it just,
Kingdom
it
of the
wasn't a
Crystal.
bad
What?
movie. It's not that it wasn't a bad movie. It was just the first one was phenomenal,
Hmm.
and that was why I like just everything. Like the first one, that Godspeed You Dark Emperor intro song,
Right.
and we're just keep building and building and building, and like just that alone elevates that
I
movie.
listen to them when I am in dark places.
Dude, there's that movie was so good to me, like good for me. I mean, well, good to me,
Hmm.
but that there's a bit, if you had the DVD, you could watch it, and they showed you their storyboard for what the story was originally going to be,
Hmm.
and then why they went with the soldiers.
Hmm.
That was the point. That was the point. And the reason they did is because they wrote this idea. Then the plan was you had to like empty the person's blood and then put new blood in them, and they're like, that makes no fucking sense. Like, what were they gonna do? Drain him and then just run him down with like, cleaning agents inside your bloodstream, get all your blood out,
Right.
scrub your insides, and then put brand new blood in? Because yeah, that's stupid. So yeah, they had to scrap that idea, but it was interesting because it would have been a way different film.
Hmm.
It would have been him mostly sitting outside the door
Hmm.
and talking to a guy that's barricaded himself in
Hmm.
and having a conversation to protect the people or something like that. It was going to stay a much smaller story with
Yeah.
that family. Yeah, it's going to be great.
That would have been cool. You know, that'll make a
Yeah,
good Behold Nerds again, is revisiting the first 28 days later. Or
I
just
can
28
add
days
it.
later.
I can add it to the list.
Yeah, add that to the list. Anyways,
Um,
we should keep chugging along here, yeah?
yeah. Okay, so well, that one was on topic.
Yeah?
Donald Glover says his schedule is. Oh yeah, so Donald Glover says his schedule isn't the reason the Community movie hasn't begun filming. Everybody's hating on me on the internet, and it's not me.
He's I think he's the busiest out of all of them.
Yeah, but he's saying it's not his problem. It's not because of him.
Oh.
And like, and why would I doubt him? I have no reason to.
Right.
So leave him alone, I guess.
Yeah. He's working. Let him be.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want this more than pretty much anything else that I could think of.
Right.
In the entertainment industry. I mean, I don't know. There's other stuff, but it's up there in my top.
Right.
Oh, this is interesting. Jeff Bridges has been maybe not as much for you. Jeff Bridges has been casting Grendel in a Grendel movie, which will tell his side of the story about his rivalry with Beowulf. Dave Bautista will star as Beowulf alongside Bryan Cranston and Sam Elliott.
Ooh.
Now,
That's an interesting
okay.
cast.
What do you think of the concept, though? I agree. The cast.
Oh, you're right. So, do like they're pulling a Maleficent. They're
Yeah, I guess it's Grendel's story. It's a story about Grendel.
Right. I mean, they're doing a Maleficent. That's cool.
Why are we learning about Grendel?
Because
The guy.
because
the
it's
guy who was
Maleficent.
like, the guy who literally. Okay, everybody forgets the fucking epic poem. The story is Grendel. I'm a monster. Beowulf. Rip your arm off.
Mm-hmm.
Casual. I know the movie made it look like he had to fight him. He didn't. He got that. That was
Disposable.
That was the guy.
That was like
in
Kratos.
James Bond. Yeah, that was the henchman. You know those guys.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's one of 3 protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of Grendel is, I'm the scariest fucker ever.
Right.
Holy shit, this guy botted me so hard I am nothing.
Right.
And that's why I'm just kind of like, he's the worst out of the bad guys. And then there go his rivalry. It's not a rivalry. You know? how does that describe a rival? I mean, I guess like it's a one-sided rivalry, maybe.
Mhm.
That's one of those situations like what we're talking about in Has Been. It's like, ha ha ha, I'm here to fight you, and like he's like, you are,
Right.
like,
It just, I, I, I don't care. I didn't realize there was such a craving for like this mythos. I don't get it. Is
what,
there?
Beowulf?
Is
Beowulf's awesome.
I know that Beowulf is awesome, but is there an outcry for Beowulf? What? Just tell Beowulf. Just tell Beowulf, and then set up the character, and then you can
Well,
have
they
the
we
Grendel
had a
movie.
Beowulf. Yeah, we had a Beowulf movie. I don't know if I would try and go up against that. I guess if you want to dip more into that universe, you say it. You keep saying stuff differently. Damn it. I don't know. I would do. It's such a convoluted thing because, like, I'm like, I remember when Beowulf came out, and then they were like, there's this one guy, like, everyone was like, "What the hell was that?" I mean, there's a dragon, and I'm like, "Yeah, and there's a dragon in Beowulf."
Yeah.
And they were like, "There is," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's in the poem. Yeah, you should read it." But I know that makes me the elitist asshole, so I don't know.
No, but it doesn't though. It's all in how you convey the message.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's all.
Anyway, I don't know. It's I'm gonna.
So
I'll
you know
give
what?
it
Just
I'll give it a chance.
the cast
because,
sounds
like,
great. The cast sounds great. Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, you could probably write a compelling movie about Grendel. It's just in my brain, this is a movie about who? You know? I guess because my brain follows Beowulf. If I was a regular person, I would be interested because I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was the scariest thing ever." They
Right.
made him scary in the movie. I will say that.
Yeah.
In that more recent movie where he was like, "Oh," and he bites the dude's
Bites a
head
dude's head off. Yeah.
off. Yeah. Oh, anyway. There's gonna be a Batman Cape Crusader movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 40 set period. It's going to be releasing on August 1st on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Timm says Harley Quinn will be more scary and not introduced as Joker's girlfriend.
Yes.
He says the original Quinzel was a little bit more serious, and then she became Harley.
Yes.
She got really goofy and weird. So we thought, what if we reversed that?
Yeah. So I did you see the picture of what she looks like?
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of who she of her new costume, but I like that they're giving her more of like a Dexter approach.
Yeah.
Is as close as I can
I
think
like
of.
the new costume. I liked it because it looked
More classic
okay,
Harley
it
Quinn.
does
It's more like a marionette Harley
it looked like a
Quinn.
1940s piece.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me. I get going like I don't like that era's style, but at the same time, I think going for a style that
So
makes you feel like
it reminded me of the old school Joker.
It does look scary.
Like the Cesar Romero Joker, like from the early versions where he's all puffy, clownish, like, almost like a puppet, almost like a puppet clown.
But I do think that like it looks scary. Like I wouldn't want to fight that.
Yeah.
Like,
So
although there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't want to fight.
yeah. So I guess the costume tells how she's going to fight in combat, right? Because the original Harley Quinn, she's very acrobatic, she's nimble. This is kind of a more puffier thing, especially with the frills. So
I would
know what
imagine she still moves like that because you got to think like circus performer, like 1940s circus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's interesting because it reminded me of like a Dexter approach. That'd be cool. Now she has these two sides to her. I think that's cool.
It looks. I'm excited for this. Ralph, either Ineson or Ineson, has been cast. The guy he's from Game of Thrones. You know who he is? He was the guy walking around with Theon. I think he was one of the Ironborn. He was like the older guy. He was like, Ironborn. You would recognize him instantly.
Did he have his balls out?
No. Maybe he had his balls out. I don't know.
No, I know what you're talking about.
He described like 60 characters.
Anyways.
Anyway, so yeah, he's been cast as Galactus in Fantastic Four. And John Malkovich has been cast in Fantastic Four, but the role is unknown. So
I wonder if he's Silver.
I
wonder if he's Silver Surfer.
Oh, you mean like actual Silver
Like
Surfer?
actual
John,
Surfer.
kind of. I guess you could just paint him.
Yeah.
He's kind of old though. I wouldn't. Maybe the voice. Like,
Yeah,
is
the
visually
voice.
weird.
Yeah, more the voice. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, who would I? You know who I would cast him as
Mm.
is fucking brain. It's the
You know who I'd cast him as?
no, Mr. Richards. I mean, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, his dad. I think it's Nathaniel Richards is his name. But I just remember during the Hyperstorm event, his dad was there, and because comics. Hope Summers marries the child of Frank, or maybe she marries Franklin. Some kind of combination, like or Franklin's kid marries her, something like that happens.
Right.
Their kid becomes Hyperstorm.
Okay.
And he's infinitely powerful.
Okay.
So then his dad comes back from the future to prevent Hyperstorm. That guy.
So, anyways, yeah.
Wait, now let me go back.
Right, let's expand on this. I don't know.
It all started because they were trying to beat the commies to space.
It all started with an astromech with a dream.
Oh god.
Anyway. The dream of reuniting two friends in an adventure that would lead generations through. All right, I'm done.
Michelle Yeoh, you guys know her from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. More recently, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And also the fucking amazing Netflix show Brother Son. She's going to star in Blade Runner 2099. And that'll come out on Prime Video. She's in a lead role. Sounds cool. I fucking loved Blade Runner 2049. The first one, I think, is a really good, really amazing, boring movie.
So, you know what? I was add Blade Runner to the list because that's another one that I've been wanting to.
And 2049. If we're doing Blade Runner, we're doing 2049.
See, I don't think I've watched the original Blade Runner in its entirety before.
I know, but I just like 2049.
Right, so I feel like if I were to watch 2049, I'd owe it to myself to watch the original. I mean, I'm familiar with the concept.
We do both. Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying 2049 is. Have you seen 2049?
No. So I didn't watch it because I wasn't sure if I watched the original, and I just didn't get around to watching the original.
Harrison Ford shows up. The AI character, her relationship, because I'm a fucking like weird romantic, really. And her relationship with Ryan Gosling's character, just I fell in love with her character through his eyes, and then I was heartbroken, and then they fucking stomped on my heart.
Wow.
And I know that doesn't sound like a good thing for a movie, but when a movie hits me that hard, you know me. Yeah. And I'm just like, this movie's amazing. You gave me such a strong emotional reaction.
Right.
It's phenomenal.
Right. No, I get it.
But yeah, I'm excited. Michelle Yeoh's dope too.
Yeah. Let's do it. I will one of these days. We're gonna watch Blade Runner. I need to watch all of them before I watch this, and I know it's going to be a million years before this even comes out. But
we should do Blade Runner's like kind of nerd homework, I think.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's one of those things where it's like a really good documentary that like you're like, we should totally watch that. I hope we'll be really informed and smart and better.
Right.
And then it's like, yeah, or we could watch this really trashy garbage.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, let's do that instead.
Right. spoon feed your brain the junk food. Yes.
Yeah, but it's just the other stuff's hard.
Yeah. Have to pay attention.
Sometimes that's really hard.
I know. Especially when you're at
I-
home and you're trying to relax while I'm just trying to adjust my
Yeah,
camera there. There we go.
And my brain now is fast. Like I'll just be thinking, not fast. I'm slow, but I have tangents. Anyway, X-Men '97. I think we should talk that. Episode 9, Tolerance is Extinction, Part 2 of 3. Just to be clear, there is still one more episode coming.
Yeah, yes. There's 10 episodes. Yes.
So, yeah, just dropped. What were your impressions?
Oh my god. So
Concerns?
pacing was a little rushed. I agree
Yeah,
with you on
yeah,
that
I
one.
felt that too. It felt a little bit like, okay, this happened and this happens, and
Right.
then this happens, and then
There wasn't enough
and then even
breathing.
some of the art was like, I almost, and this is the thing, the art has been criticized. I loved the art action style, but then this episode, there's a couple of things like where Storm's like, this is a fucking thing, and then it's like, and then scene missing, and then
Right.
and then it's just like, wait, what? But yeah, what were your thoughts? Yeah, you said rushed. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was rushed, but I loved it.
I loved it too. Yeah.
So you had we were talking about this, and you had asked me if I knew what it was leading up to, and I mean we're kind of skipping ahead, but spoiler alert: Magneto sucks the adamantium out of
yeah.
Wolverine.
Well, okay. So yeah. So this is the big. Well, there's a lot of stuff that.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
But I guess we'll just jump to the ending, what it means. I knew you would be starting soon. Theories, and the like. Hang on. Brimstone.
Cat.
I'm pointing it the wrong way. Anyway, what were we saying?
The X-Men
yeah.
97.
Yeah. I know. What was your last? Oh, there was.
Oh,
fast, but, no, the ending. Okay.
The ending. Yeah.
So clearly they were doing a lead up to an event in comics, but they did events out of order. So spoilers for those of you not aware. So we see Magneto. Well, here's the thing. Charles is about to mind wipe Magneto.
Right.
And then, but at the same time, freaking Jean is fighting Cable, who's got one of those sinister gems, and she's like holding him back, and everyone's like, "Why couldn't she win?" I'm like, she thinks of him as a son,
Right.
She doesn't want to hurt him. He's had that filter removed, so that's why. But anyway, so she's like Scott, and then I assume she's still alive because it's Jean,
Right.
Although she dies all the time,
Right. She's fine. She dies enough. She goes up there. She high fives Uncle Ben, and then she just cannonballs back down to Earth. Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Ben is there with like a warm sandwich and like a hot towel. Just hey.
But anyway, so because of that event, Cyclops shot Magneto. So what's backwards here, or not Magneto? Cyclops stopped Professor Xavier from mind wiping Magneto.
Right.
So what's backwards is the events in the comic is Magneto gets mad at Wolverine, decides, fuck it, I'm done with you.
Right.
And rips all his adamantium out of him, which Wolverine once described as the worst pain he's ever felt in his life, in a lifetime full of
all the pains
nuked and shit. Yeah.
Right.
Like he said, having hot adamantium ripping out of every pore in his body simultaneously
Right.
was the most horrible experience he's ever had. So it's and then he becomes like Beast Wolverine because
He's like feral.
So and then what happens though is because that's what triggers Xavier to mind wipe Magneto,
Right.
which their psyches merge and then we get Onslaught.
Right.
So the theory is this is leading to the Onslaught, but the problem with that theory is they reversed it and Cyclops stopped Onslaught from being created. So maybe not. But Wolverine's about to get his adamantium ripped out. So I don't fucking know. And every time I have a theory about something, it's like, no, we're just gonna jump over to this portion of comics, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. I don't know, but God, give me more. So we have one more episode of this.
Yeah. No, it was good. Um,
So I'm hoping that this final episode, like, I hope we got all the action out of the way and give this some breathing room. Like, we had the big...
That's what I think this part 2 needed.
Right.
Is I think they should have just said, you know what, who cares? We're Disney. Just make this one longer.
Right.
And then yeah, just run a longer episode and take your time with it. Just give it the breathing room. That's exactly, because X-Men needs breathing room. It is a drama as well.
Right. So
it's almost a soap in ways.
It kind of is melodrama. It's good.
Yeah. It's like, bum bum bum, I'm your son from the future. And like when you say it like that, you're like, oh shit, it is a soap. But you're like, no, that's dope, because it's also our son from the future, but he's got giant guns and a metal arm and an eye that glows.
Right.
So like,
it's like, I'm the son of one of the world's most powerful telepaths. That was cool.
We're gonna be old people sitting in chairs being like, I'm putting on my stories, and it's like,
I can't feel you.
X-Men 2000. No, they'll just keep going, like,
right.
You know. Anyway,
until we're brains in jars,
Grandpa. You know. Like,
anyways, so God, what else happened this episode? So much happened.
My favorite part is, speaking of Wolverine, and everybody, I think everybody collectively thought this. They're like, we're splitting you into 2 teams. Gold team, which will consist of you, and blue team, which will consist of you, Wolverine, and then he's like, okay, team with Wolverine, aka loser team, blue team, because you're gonna die. You're going after Magneto with Wolverine. Nobody say anything.
Remain still.
And then Wolverine's just like, I got this, bub. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
When have you ever had that fight? Like, well, dude, I get that you're Wolverine. Like, kudos.
But that's Magneto. That's Magneto.
Yeah. You might as well just have, like, a weak spot target on you. Like,
right. I mean, to be fair, he got his hit in. He did.
I know, which I was surprised.
Right. Well, he wasn't looking. Yeah. All Wolverine needs to do is endure the pain until he has that moment, and then he strikes, and that's fucking Wolverine. He saw his moment.
The only reason he got the hit in was because he just didn't go like, you're in space now. You know, like...
How long do you think he could survive in space for?
I don't know. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, you won the fight at that time.
Yeah.
Like... you're in space now, and you have no adamantium. Like,
he's solar powered.
I would keep it in him because he just makes him wuss, like a wimp to you. Like, once you take it out, like, now he's a threat.
Right.
But what were we saying? X-Men, yeah. So dope episode though. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah,
cannot wait.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, my only criticism is it felt a little rushed. Oh, I did like it when Storm and there's a, it's totally unrelated to, I'm not even, I'll tell you off air.
Okay. Say it.
It's something that exists in comics. It's just someone pointed it out this morning, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm like, wow, that's real. And it is. I want to
say it now.
No. Anyway. But oh yes, I liked it when Storm and what's his name showed up, and then I love the moment with Storm.
Or not Bishop. Forge.
Yeah, and I liked how like they're like flying around, but like before that, you had that moment when she was like, they were like, what's her name? Jean was worried about Storm, and then Storm's like, and she's like, no, I got this, just like I know you got this, and then she was like, what did she say? She was like, make them fear your weather.
Yeah.
And then she was make them weather your mind.
Yep.
And it was just dope. It was a dope moment. That's what it needed more of.
It was so good. So good. That was probably my favorite part of the they have really good dialogue together, and that's what's great about the show is that every X-Men, every character has a moment and has an interaction. Like they're so tightly woven, and it's believable and it's great. It's done so well. I want more. Yeah, it shut up and take my money. It's phenomenal. It's so good, so good.
So also we had a show that just dropped. It's called Space Conflict: Stories of the Realm.
Mm-hmm.
I caught this. It was really enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Let me describe the opening scene just so you can kind of get a feel for it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's like this army of robots,
Okay.
and it's like storming this like village of people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like clearly they're getting overwhelmed with the robots. They got like space tech too. They're shooting like space bows though.
Mm-hmm.
At the robots, but the robots are clearly winning.
Right.
Anyway, so they're running for their lives from the robots, and then like one of them gets stabbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this evil cyborg guy, like he's like yeah, he's super evil clearly, but he's like classic evil, just like
Right.
I'm gonna kill all the children in hospitals now,
Right.
that kind of evil, like and you know where you are with that kind of evil,
Right.
like,
I'm currently writing Evil in Quantum, and it's the same thing where it's just that it's just
yeah.
it's that classic. I'm just better than you.
So anyway, so he stabs someone, and then and then he's about to stab that. I guess that was the mom, and he's about to stab the mom's daughter. Like he does this like jumping side slash, but then or no, I think the mom jumps in now. And then the mom jumps in and she's got these like twin blades, and then like they're like magic though. So it's like one of those tech versus magic things. And so they're like fighting, but again the cyborg clearly is gonna kill her. So it kills the mom. The other one runs away, ends up having to fight a robot by herself. And then she manages to like uppercut it and like stab it, like, and then it kills it. But she gets overwhelmed. And then it ends with the cyborg guy being like, I'm evil, we're killing everybody today, boys. And all the robots just being like, murder, murder, murder. And then that was the opening scene. But then it jumps to like people find her and then they bring her in. But it's clearly a story about an evil character because she just like keeps being evil. And then like, I haven't finished it, but she's like now rising to power, and she like controls like an entire planet. And then like there's an even like bigger evil that's like, ha ha ha, you're evil, we're evil too, you should be evil for us. And then she's like, I like being evil. And then like, yeah, we're all evil here. And that's where I'm at with the show. Oh, and then like you see it also from the perspective of everybody that she's like because her rise to power, she's like guess what, like you're going to be working every day all the time. You're probably going to die, but it'll be good because you will know that you're serving my empire. And you're just like, whoa. And then that's where I left off on it. But it's a good show. You should check it out. Shut up and take my money.
Okay. Well, I saw the as a Defrosted documentary.
I was totally waiting for you to decode my show. It was called Space Con because this is something Kat feels really strong about, so I want to know if he'd like it if I changed the title. The title I gave it was Space
Conflict.
Stories of the Realm.
Yes.
Decode that.
I did, and I am happy to report that I watched this thing called Defrosted.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, decode that one. Well timed. This is a mockumentary about.
That's not really the name of the show, though. You got that right.
Yeah, I know. Yes, yes, Frosty.
Okay.
I'm gonna pat you on the head.
I like it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I haven't watched all of it, but yeah, I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
But okay, Pop-Tart Frosty.
Yeah, so it's a mockumentary about the origin of Pop-Tarts. It's Seinfeld is the showrunner for it, or not the showrunner, the producer, director, or whatever. It's fun. It's, hey, Seinfeld, invite your friends, your comedian friends, to make a movie about Pop-Tarts and have fun with it. Okay, it's great. It's so great.
It sounds like, yeah. I mean, it's not a movie I would have seen,
So
but I think when a mockumentary is really well done, it can be really well done. So I'm taking it. I'm guessing it's a shut up. And take my
it's a shut up and take my money. And Mrs. Cap and I were watching this last night, and she was losing her mind. And now you've seen Mrs. Cap during movies; it's quite a spectacle. And she was just rolling off the couch, laughing so hard at this movie.
I really enjoy the way she describes what's actively going on to everybody. That's my favorite Mrs. Cap like ism. And I'm sitting there and it's like, oh, do you see that? He used his foot and kicked him. I'm like, oh, he did.
Yeah. Anyway, so
man, that wolf totally got kicked in the face. Yeah. Did it again.
Then he did a
It
spin.
would be good. Like you know what? She should like hire herself out. Like if not if you're totally blind, but if you can't see that well, like that's got to be a job, right? Like,
Describing things to humans in real time as they're watching a movie. Yeah. Okay. Genius. I'm gonna make this work. Anyways, that's all I've got. Did you want to jump into?
Oh yeah, one last one. Madam Web. I watched Madam Web.
Oh yeah. So
go
ahead.
It is a bad movie, but it is also kind of cool. And I'll be real fast. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Oh, over here, dude. I got the laser on over here. But anyway, what I liked about this movie was the idea. Okay, so you have evil Spider-Man versus Madam Web, and the plot is Madam Web has enhanced spider sense, so good that she can pretty much see the future much better than he can. I know he can a little bit. She does she's not great at it. Like she learns as she goes through the movie.
So
obviously.
she's a Spider-Man with enhanced spider sense.
Yeah,
or
but
like
she
tuned differently, like tuned differently to.
Yeah,
almost
but
be
like to the but he still has the same similar thing. But she doesn't have Spider-Man powers.
Okay.
Like that's the only one she's got, but she's got it turned up to 11.
Okay.
And so it's interesting. So evil Spider-Man is trying to kill futures because he sort of has the same thing. He has a dream that he's going to get killed by Sydney Sweeney, Spider-Girl, other Spider-Girl, and Spider-Girl the third. She is truly the greatest of them all. I don't know. I don't recognize all of them. Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl or something with there's a lot of spider people. 3 Spider-Girls are destined to kill him. They look cool when I see them. I didn't recognize anyone other than Spider-Woman, I think is what she goes by in the comics, because she has the black and white suit. And I think that was the one played by Sydney Sweeney. So, but you don't really see them much. They're just kind of visions of what they will be. So he's gonna get killed by them. He has that vision. So he's like, I gotta kill these girls. And then her powers kick in, and she knows they're gonna die. So her only ability to fight this guy is precognition.
Right.
So, and he's got actual Spider-Man powers. And so he's crawling on walls and stuff. It's actually really funny. The best scene is when she's like, how would I know if I can crawl on walls unless I try? And then she just like on the ground. So she's good. It's really bad too. And there's also parts where like one of the girls like all of a sudden has Spider-Man powers except not being bitten by a spider yet. So I was like, what the hell? It didn't make any sense.
Right.
Like she just moves too quickly. I'm just like, that's not like it's not the best in terms of special effects. None of that. But the idea of Spider-Man versus normal person with better spider it was good. And then the ending when she had like you see her kind of with the glasses. I don't know. I had a fun time. I recommend watching it. I do give it a you got to do what you got to do because I accept it's not a good movie. It could have been a good movie.
So sometimes you can
the performances.
So there are movies that I can watch and enjoy for the fact that I know that there's a better movie in there, and my brain sort of latches onto that because then it's like, well, what would I do? And that's just how I enjoy things. It's just
I do think part of it is I didn't think it was going to be good,
mm.
and a lot of time when I think something's going to suck, and then I watch it.
So. I've been watching a new channel on YouTube. It's not a new channel, but it's a channel I found on YouTube. His name is Robot Head, and
I understand.
he addresses everything that I feel about Star Wars. But what's funny is that the reason why you might like him is that he agrees with you as to how big of a bitch Kylo Ren is, because how did he get beat up by these two people when he's supposed to be the bestest, scariest thing ever? Like, he agrees with you on the Kylo Ren thing. I disagree, which is why I like him more, because it's sort of like the bridging
Yeah,
of
but
both
it's
of
for
ours.
the same reason that, like, I think you can point out, and this is the thing, when you look at a situation, sometimes people look at it and like go, like it's like the stabbing with lightsabers thing. I'm
Right.
going, well, based on the trajectory and the fact that it, does this with flesh, and I'm like, her location and this, I go, that all clicks and makes sense.
Right.
You're like, no, she should be dead. And then and so like our no matter what, we'll never see that scene the same way.
Right.
And so you go like, oh, because he got shot with a thing and this and that and the other, he's still cool. I'm just like, do something.
Right. So
Because his intro is so strong.
So either way, the guy actually said that Madam Web isn't awful. It's terrible, but it's like, eh. So, which is why I'm kind of bummed that you watched it, because I was gonna drop it as a surprise Behold Nerds, but we can still have it in the salvo for another Behold Nerds day. But yeah.
But yeah, so that was my thing.
Okay, so if you and I were to sit down, get really high, and watch it, will we be giggling like a couple of schoolgirls and having a good time?
No, I just think I enjoyed it, and this sounds stupid because it wasn't good, but on an intellectual level,
Okay.
like because the stuff that's bad isn't good. It's not good like you can sit there and laugh about it.
Mm.
It's just it was just there was stuff that I was like, that's kind of a good idea. And like I'm like, oh, that was cool the way she did this. But the problem, so it's like her and some of the concepts, and even some of just like a lot of Dakota Johnson. Like you just kind of like her. It's just as soon as stuff happens wrong, and like the girls, they're like she's like, okay, I'll be right back. You need to hang out in the woods. And they're like, no, we're going to go to this place and dance on the table for boys.
Yeah.
And I just, why? Why? And they're like, oh, you came back for, what else was she going to do? Like, I don't know. But even if she wasn't, your solution was dance on a table with boys. Like, and then it was so just cringy. They're all like, and they're like, yeah, we're having a good. I don't know. Maybe I'm an old crotchety man, but I'm like,
No,
to me that just
slappy squirrels, sir.
If I
Slappy
was
squirrel.
if I was in a restaurant and that happened, I would be like, what? If you want.
Yeah.
Uh,
You ring it in this
so
time.
Battle Nerds is our weekly show. We take two characters. We random roll to see who they are. We have no idea who the matchups will be. And then we have to come up with a convincing argument as to why our character would win. We can choose any version of the character we want. And we'll go from there. You'll see how it's played if you haven't followed. Last week was Rogue versus Megatron. And Rogue pulled out ahead, but I was actually way closer than I thought it would be. But yeah, Rogue did win, which is actually pretty big news because Rogue is now
She now the
rankings.
number one.
She is now the number one with 6 wins. She was also our very first
Against
ever
Poison
Battle
Ivy.
Nerd Spider against Poison Ivy. And Spock is in second. You have to have 3 wins to get into third place now. So that is the Terminator T-800 series Model 101. Definitely one of my favorite combatants. Thanos. Captain America, the one I really want to win.
Oh wait.
Although the T-800 I'd be fine with too. And then the one that's the the danger. There's a disturbance in the Battle Nerds. And she's coming in hot, destroying everybody.
Zatanna.
Zatanna. She may win. holy fuck! Every time we put Zatanna down, it is part of it is like that's the one nerds go Zatanna.
Right.
And so because they do that, it goes into the comments and then people like it. And so like all of a sudden the Twitter poll just goes like from like a few people being like, yeah, I think that like, and, like
Yeah. So
similar thing happens with Spock sometimes though, to be fair.
yeah. Oh, the two of them are probably going to fight at some point.
I know, but I would respect a Spock win way more than maybe not. This not as a cool character.
So
It's just
you say, I like the
she is
characters like Spock, where you can think of a Star Trekian way to handle the situation, because Star Trek has evolved past most problems, and they can sit around and okay, here's a scenario. How do we fix this? Well, we can do blah blah blah. So I like debating Spock. So what do we have? We have Darth Vader versus Captain America today.
yeah, I got Vader, you got Cap. We are down to our last 15 fighters. I'll just start because I don't know which version you're going with.
So you had asked me before we went live what version I was going with, and I didn't want to answer it because you said the version I chose, and I tried to. So yes, I'm going with Soldier Supreme.
Yeah.
When
That's
Gamora.
interesting. Yeah, that was my very like. I was like, who would I pick if I'm going up against Darth Vader? That would be like not like because you could go with like Cat Phoenix or something like that.
Right.
But you don't want to be. Well, sometimes you've done that to me. You're just like I've done it to you.
Right. Just both barrels, bitch.
Yeah.
But you know,
yeah, no,
so
that is a closer, better.
So
fight.
really quick, jumping back. So hold on, really quick, jumping back to the Rogue fight. I had just watched the episode of X-Men where she not only went up against Captain America, but flew into hard and took out like 17 bajillion Sentinels, and all I saw was her taking out Megatron after Megatron after Megatron, just boom through the head, just dead. Just that's all I saw. That entire sequence was that.
And then like Starscream would be all like, "Rules around the Decepticons," and then like it would be like 45 seconds long, and they'd be like, "Hey, bow," and then all of a sudden he'd come back as Galvanator Supreme.
So, anyways, what version of?
By the way, still my favorite joke of a Resident Evil show, a Resident Alien show, was when they were like, yeah, "I ordered it off," or no, something about someone said something Amazon Prime, and then he was like, "Wow, I'm surprised." And then I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "That's Optimus Prime's wife." Damn, Amazon Prime. That is the best joke. I don't even care. That is so funny. So yeah.
So anyways, what version of Darth Vader are you going with?
Oh, I don't know. Darth Vader.
Okay. So, the two of them are engaged in epic battle nerd fashion. How does Darth Vader? Okay. So here's really quick. This is during Thanos obtaining the Infinity Gauntlet.
Was it from an alternate universe?
No. This is 616. Gamora folded the universe together and created like spliced versions of characters, so out pops Soldier Supreme.
Yeah, but it's still it's created that way, but it is technically Earth 1610 or something like that.
616. I'm sorry, 616. That's right, 616. So essentially, you have Captain America with.
No, that's 616 though, but like, well, yeah. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. So, anyways, you have Captain America with Sorcerer Supreme powers. He has a telekinesis.
That's what it is. No, you're right. It is 616, but it's Warp World.
Yeah.
I knew it was something alternate. Yeah.
Because Gamora did a thing where she
You're right. Shut my dirty whore mouth. You go.
I did some research. So here is how I think this battle will just go.
I used my brain hole.
Okay, this is how I believe this fight's going to go down. Now, I'm going to use current Star Wars.
Well, what does he have? What are his powers?
Okay, so he has telekinesis, but his big thing is he's got this thing called the Spirit Walk. So, like what Luke did at The Last Jedi, where he, like, did like the astral form of himself to fight Kylo. He can do that, but without the death, and he can actually harm the things with his ghost. So he doesn't even need to be present. And not only so, I can see this going down. Let's say for whatever chance Darth Vader gets the upper hand. Okay, okay.
From what I remember about him, though, right, is he's basically a combination of Doctor Strange and Captain America. He makes his shield using magic, and then he's still a super soldier. So
Yes.
still got Captain, and then he makes a magic shield, and then he throws out spells.
Yeah.
Kind of like Doctor Strange.
Right. So,
Okay.
but he has a spirit walk, and the spirit walk is like similar to this astral projection that Luke did in the Last Jedi. So, conceivably, in this fight, Rogers, he doesn't even need to be physically present. He can do this fight from remote. So, even if Vader gets the upper hand, because I know what Vader's capable of doing, if at any chance Rogers thinks he has the upper hand, what can he do? Holy shit, he can summon the ghosts of fucking people, right? So he can summon the ghosts of fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi and fucking Qui-Gon. And when Vader thinks he has the upper hand, you can have Obi-Wan show up as a ghost form, like a corporeal ghost form capable of doing harm, and have some type of clever retort like, "You let him go, Anakin." And then you can have multiple Jedi fighting Vader. But I don't even think it needs to get to that, because I think that Doctor Strange, or I'm sorry, Sorcerer Supreme Powers can take out Vader, because remember, Vader has a weakness. It's his respirator. And just take out the respirator. It's the big target on the 90s, 80s villain at the end of every level. You just hit the weak spot, and he's incapacitated.
Yeah,
so, anyways, what is your retort, sir?
All right, so Vader, he shows up, and you're like, you're like, I could do this all day, but also I'm a sorcerer. So like Vader's like, Force, and maybe they do that for a bit.
Yeah, they have to. They have to flex a little bit.
Yeah. Sure. Like like Vader, I imagine, starts throwing shit at him, and then it caps. So he's like, bloop, bloop, bloop. And then maybe he like even opens a portal and redirects it at Vader. We have fun.
Yeah.
And then, sure. So you're saying he spirit walks and he summons in the ghost of other Jedis, and he has to fight the dead ghost of people. And that's how he wins.
Yeah. That could be like the ultimate way he could win if all else fails.
And then, you said also kill the respirator thing.
Yep.
All right. So sure. I guess that happens. But then it's like Miss Marvel's,
Right.
So then like, oh no, I'm dead. And then like, I don't know. Someone goes up and like says, "Hey, Vader, here's the Darkhold." No, I'm Darkhold Vader. Or some other combination of things is going to happen. Okay. I know there's already a what do you call it? Ghost Rider. I think it's called Ghost Hammer or something like that. Yeah. I don't know, but like I guess.
Okay, so you know what? If so, we've had our discussions about being the survivability of the lightsaber stabs, and the one that I can forgive the most is Reva. I did her character is awful, but
I think a lightsaber, even against Captain America, like force powers aside, let's just say a duel, Captain shield versus Vader with a lightsaber. I honestly give it to Cap. I just do.
It's like a Beskar type thing, where
easily. I mean, because what people don't realize is Captain. I mean, it depends on which version, but Captain America's shield in the comics is it's adamantium. No, it's adamantine. It's proto adamantium. So adamantine is the god stuff. That's the stuff that what do you call it? Hercules. That's his club. There's also Uru, but like in the Greek side they have adamantine, and then they tried to make it. Humans did, and they made proto adamantium. That's Cat's shield, only one that's ever existed. Then they they tried to make Cap's shield again, and they made adamantium.
Okay.
So that's the order of things. So
so
I think
not
his shield
vibranium?
Huh?
So not
Oh,
vibranium?
vibranium's another thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, his shield's not vibranium. It's proto-adamantium.
You're right. But no. I'm saying in the MCU it's vibranium.
Yeah.
They changed.
But so even I think that. But then we got magic shield. Then we got magic. So yeah, you easily. I guess like the one thing. I don't know. If I was gonna go straight, I would combine them with something because you combined, and I would just do a combiner war, and I think that's how he could win. Maybe like.
Oh, so
what about,
no.
I got it. I don't know if he exists in this one, but this is the combo I'm going with. Vader Doom.
Oh,
come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary.
Like maybe Vader goes down and then Doom like brings him in like Emperor.
Oh, okay. Can you imagine Vader but with the Doom face?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay.
And then like maybe they merge,
Yeah.
I guess the thing and all that. But yeah, so I would do Vader Doom versus, and then it's better because what's his name is also a sorcerer. Who knows what crazy shit he would pull out?
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, force power.
Right.
I would do that. But as
well,
far
so
as
Vader's no slouch. So here's the thing: Vader's no slouch. Does he have weaknesses? Yes, but the thing about the dark side of the Force is that the anger is what drives you. Like even if you're fucked up, it doesn't matter. It's Red Hulk. It's the Red Lantern rings. It's the rage. You just scream your way through it. So
I was looking at the difference between a barbarian and a monk.
Yeah, exactly. Just it's different focuses. Like just different focuses. So it's could I see Vader just using raw might to just bash his way and just keep bashing it and and take a Star Destroyer and just take double Star Destroyers. Like you can go nuts with this because Vader is.
No, but the problem is so can Doctor Strange.
Right.
But because you've warped, I warp, and then I'm more than matched for you. Anyway, it's up to you guys to decide. So let us know what you guys thought of the debate. Who you thought won.
So, you know what? I could see this going down in my head where, again, Vader has Soldier Supreme pinned, and then all of a sudden, the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi shows up with his lightsaber. You let him go, Anakin! And that's good. That's the poetry of Star Wars, see, because that's what touches back to when he had Padme. That's when he turned evil right there. That was that was it. That was the breaking point. And it'd be like that reflection, and that'd be, playing into Vader's psyche, trying to get him.
I thought the breaking point was Padme at all.
No, yeah, but I mean, it was a lot more graphic in the graphic novel because he actually force choked her and threw her into a wall, and we didn't get that. It was just.
I know, but I was listening to Lucas talk about it, and he was just the fact that he chose Padme meant because the Force is supposed to be selfless.
Yeah.
And so you can't have anyone, which is why Jedi don't.
Right.
Anyway.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. I think that's Superman.
Yes.
You got a 1, which is so you got Superman again. This is an interesting one.
Uh-oh.
I keep getting Star Wars characters. It's I feel really bad because he's your favorite.
Oh, is it Han?
It's Han. It's Han versus Superman.
No.
Yeah. Let's get out of here, Chewie. Hey, what's going on?
He just grabs the Falcon. It's not going
in front of them in hyperspace. Just kind of being you gotta stop right now, or I'm gonna have to put you down.
Flying backwards through hyperspace, just cross-armed, right in front, pacing right in front of their shield. Not even.
Yeah, exactly. Just what are you doing, guy?
Solo 2.
Odd shot first, so. Of course he did. If
So this
Superman shot first, then there would just be a crater.
just a smear.
He doesn't do those things.
Want to roll for the next week's then?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Want to roll for the next week's then? Because we know that Superman's going to be the winner.
We got Superman coming up against Han Solo. Let's jump into Bold Nerds. And also, like I said, make sure to vote. You can either mention who you thought won directly in the comments. You can do it over on Facebook. You can do it on Twitter. You can just be like, hey, I think this, if you happen to know me or Cap as a person. Actually, text is probably best. But yeah, just let us know who you thought. We will tally up the votes, and we will let you know next week. Behold Nerds, this week's pick is an interesting pick. Behold Nerds, we take a look at a show, movie, comic, something, and we discuss it. What is she? Cap Spawn? Cap Spawn.
Little Cap.
Decided to. I was speaking to Cap Spawn, and she suggested Has Been Hotel, and I was like, oh yeah, I saw the first couple episodes of it. Turns out I watched the whole thing. I just kind of forgot about it. But I was remembering him in real time of watching him. We watched the first 3. You watched all of them. I probably would need to rewatch those others. So let's try and keep it the first 3.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's so Has Been Hotel was her pick. As soon as I sat down and put it back on,
You remembered
knowing what I know about Cap Spawn, I was like, this is My Little Pony, but hard R.
Right.
And I was like, because it's a story. I know you could say this about a lot of stuff, but it is a story about morality,
Right.
and like redemption and all those themes from My Little Pony,
Right.
but just with like hard R jokes thrown in,
Right.
and then like and done really funny. And then the main character, and this is why I was asking like who her favorite character is, because I was like there's a few people here I wonder if she identifies with, because the main character is a princess from hell with a heart of gold,
Right?
Still got edge, and I'm just like, huh. And then but then I see the other character, and I'm like, her friend, and I'm like, oh, maybe maybe she sees herself as ultra cool, and I was like maybe her, but she's definitely the first one. And then I saw that she's actually a combination of 2 of the characters. She's the princess of hell character, that's her totally, but you know the little one that's running around
I love that.
Throw some of that in there. But I totally get why she loves this show. As soon as I saw it through
that's
eyes,
almost like the Pinkie Pie character, if you will,
yeah.
but done as a hard R.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing a perception check on the youngling, so we're going to talk about this, and we're going to see how long it takes for her to realize what we're talking about. So, anyways, you had seen this before. I never watched it before. Sat down, watched it, not knowing anything about it. I loved it. She said we had to watch the first 3 episodes. She said, okay, you need to watch it past this episode. Once you make it past that episode, it gets really, really, really good.
What was the past the episode?
The one where what's the
what episode was it? In the 3, or did she make? Is that?
I think it was the third one. It was the one where what's the horror character's name? Where it goes into their backstory with the pimp and how they're just getting abused for this pimp.
Oh, I think that's like episode 4 or something.
Okay, yeah. So it might have been episode 4, but
I was sucked in instantly.
I mean, I was sucked. I was sucked in instantly. It's just one of those. All right, well, where's this going? And then that was the episode where it's like, this is where we're going. It's like, okay, now, yeah. That's when it started getting its greater stride. The first 3 episodes were setting the universe. It was I loved it. I have my favorite characters. Guess my 2 favorites.
I don't know. I saw your youngling in 2 of the characters.
Yeah.
And then when I realized, because you got to realize, I used to live with Cat. It would be like morning time, and I would be like, and you'd be like, and then coffee, and then it would be like all of a sudden I'm sat at a table with a chalkboard in front of me, learning about how if I combine certain things, then it becomes magic because friendship is magic.
Right.
And then she's like, and then so I had to go to school about ponies, uh,
Yeah.
and this is that just like because now she's older, and I'm like, oh, yes,
Yeah.
like
That's funny. I didn't see it as that until you pointed that out just now, and now I can see the characters, and then that little psychotic
yeah.
one. That's the Pinkie Pie character. Like, okay, yeah, that's a dynamic. Um, who are your favorite characters? Because I'll.
Oh, the only one that like I mean, I'm not gonna say favorite characters, just because there's other ones I think are cool,
Mm,
but the one that I instantly was like, that guy's dope
mm.
is the radio demon,
Yeah,
because he's the
Alabaster.
one that like he's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's kind of like he knows every like he's always got that sinister grin.
Mm,
Nobody ever really gets the better of him.
mm-hmm.
He's just like yeah, I'm this like badass evil thing,
Mm,
and like you don't want to mess with me, and everyone's like yeah, we're not gonna mess with you, and
mm.
like and I just except for that one guy, I'm
Yeah.
here to fight, and he's like you are. Like, but but like the TV guy, like we set him up, and you're like, oh yeah, that guy looks pretty badass. But then the radio guy's like, welcome back,
Yeah.
da-da-da-da. And the music, it's just excellent. Like
Right.
everything about this show
Mm,
is so well done,
mm,
from the voice acting to the
mm.
stellar music performances. And then there's that first bit where Michael, or no, what it was Adam,
Mm-hmm.
where he's
Yeah.
doing the song. He's like, blah, da, 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 we like kill it in hell. And then like the part where he goes guitar solo, blah, 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 blah. And but he wasn't playing at the guitar. Like,
Right.
even though he later does, that's the absurdity of the show.
Right.
I loved it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling. But yeah,
No, 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 no. I like guess my favorite characters.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. So Husk, the bartender, Keith David's
Oh
character.
yeah. Keith David. That makes sense.
He was cool, and then the snake guy. What was his name? Sir something. The snake.
The guy that got bodied by the radio demon.
Yeah.
Or you mean
No,
yeah, that guy.
the snake guy with the little egg demons. I liked him.
Oh yeah.
The one who
Yeah.
the one who gets redeemed.
All right, that's him. That's him. Because in the beginning, he's the guy that shows up, and he's like, "Bro, I'm here."
Oh yeah.
And then and then he tried to like plant the camera,
Yeah.
and then they found out. But then she's like, "It starts with sorry," and that's as soon as like that kicks in, you're just like, because it's all R-rated, but they're talking about that's the thing. You could look at the show and you could be like, oh, this is really like, oh no, they said the F word,
Right.
and like I guess some of the jokes are pretty hard, like holy
Yeah.
shit.
But I mean,
like,
it fits.
but yeah, well, the thing is though, here's the thing. I think if you focus on that, you're missing the great.
Right.
There's a song about why you like need to say sorry to people and mean it from your heart.
Right.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's freaking My Little Pony, slash Disney slash like all that stuff.
It reminds me of My Little Pony, Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
Like splice those together. There you go.
yeah, but I just mean,
No, and
I guess like,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
yeah, but
It touches on. It's about virtue.
yeah,
is what it is.
It's excellent though. It's excellent.
Right.
I am look, even though I forgot this show and watched the whole thing, and I still don't remember it. That sounds really bad. You got to realize I was in the hospital just consuming entertainment, and so like yeah.
So
I but the fact that I liked it enough to just sit down and watch it in one row.
my youngling, her favorite is Lucifer.
Yeah, you're saying I don't even remember him.
So he shows up. He's the father of the main
I know,
character,
yeah.
and you know they seem kind of estranged. But then she asks him for help, and then he shows up, and she's like, "Oh my god, I wasn't expecting you to show up," but he showed up, and then there's that song, and then.
Oh, that's sweet.
When shit goes down. When shit goes down.
She's really the daughter character, but her favorite character is the dad character.
Yes, sir.
And you didn't realize that watching this? That is the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
No, because then when shit goes down, fucking Lucifer shows up and he's like, "Oh, let's fucking throw down, bitch!" And then Lucifer throws down. It's phenomenal. I liked it.
Yeah, I know, but that's because her favorite character is the character that she's most like Dad.
Oh.
And so you're Lucifer, dude.
Yes. That's all.
Yeah, do you not see that? That's what I mean. That was the sweetest thing. That we just had the sweetest, most heartfelt moment in the show.
Oh.
Hit you right in the feels.
Because he shows up and he's just like, oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just think that's sweet. Your daughter's favorite character is the you of the show.
Oh. We'll be right back.
Well, that's a good moment. So anyway, we get to pick next week. Shut up and take my money from you.
Oh, obviously. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, it's excellent. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Pick something.
Hang on. I know it is my pick. I have a bunch, and there's a bunch I want to watch. But if I can find this, I will make this. We're gonna watch this. I bet you we can find it on Disney Plus.
No.
Cartoon.
Oh no.
90s. It's not gonna be good. We're not watching the one with She-Hulk though. We're gonna watch the original one because the original one was just like General Ross is here, and then it's Hulk, and then oh no, and then the Hulk leaves, and then the next episode General Ross, and then Hulk, and then that is the whole show. Wait, Hulk cartoon 90s. Where to? Is it on? Nah, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, I'll research that one. Pick another day. I just really that would have been hilarious. Let's watch.
Something.
Okay, I should have researched something.
It's your pick, Frosty. Come on.
I know. Give me a second, for fuck's sake. I'm trying to pick something I know is out on a platform.
I am out, Frosty.
That's going to be too. Oh, Upgrade. Let's watch Upgrade.
Upgrade. Cool.
You will love Upgrade.
Okay.
Okay. When you're watching Upgrade, I'm just gonna drop a thought bomb in your brain.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden you're gonna be like, imagine this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly because it's not the same.
Right.
But apply Venom to this movie. This
Okay.
This is the Venom movie that should have gotten made just if they did the same thing with Venom.
Okay.
Sort of.
Okay.
Sort of. But it does Venom better.
I think okay, this is a movie that came out that just sort of I acknowledge existed, but sort of went under my radar. And I think fellow nerd Adrian saw this at the time, and he was saying it was really, 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 really good. And he said kind of the same thing, where it's like Venom, but better. So okay, cool.
Well, the movie Venom, not the character.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm down. Upgrade. What's it on?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll watch Upgrade. I saw it was out on something recently.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I got to put that on the list. And the other one I really want to get you to watch sometime, and I've been saying this since our very first we discussed it, because you were like, I've never seen that. I was like, fuck, that's a good movie. How have you not seen that? Is Memento.
Memento.
Yeah, it's great. It's a movie about a guy who has that disease or that problem. Like, you remember with 50 First Dates?
Yeah.
He's got that same thing, but it's even shorter.
Oh.
And to remember it, he tattoos stuff on his body.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know.
And then he has to solve the mystery of someone's death or something.
Okay. I know which one you're talking about.
Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen it, but I now that you've mentioned it and described it, I'm aware of the movie.
Yeah, it's so good. Anyway, well, that's pretty. I think we completed our list, so we have 5.
Oh, we clocking out early today, boys.
We got 5 minutes of just sitting around. I do have a couple of rants or time fillers. Let's see, what's the most?
Oh, so another thing with the Star Wars Celebration, the one thing I didn't get a chance to do, I didn't make my way over there. They had the speeder bikes, and I would have loved to get my picture with the speeder bike.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, so the park was kind of empty, and what was great is I went on Pirates of the Caribbean, and I had the entire boat to myself. Yeah. Like, yo, that's a privilege. I had the whole boat to myself, and nobody 2 boat until like 3 boats behind me. It was phenomenal. You could stretch your legs, you can openly fart, you can have your own commentary. It's your boat. Nobody's there to stop you.
I don't know why this popped into my brain. You can fart. Like, I just thought of that. Family Guy episode where they go into the store and they're like, "Oh, that looks like a good reading spot for small farts," and then they're like beep, and it's like boop, and then Meg's like, "Brap," and then the guy's like, "Excuse me, madam, this is the store for small farts. There's a fucking store next door for that," and like he named it was just funny. Um, Now, okay, so question:
Mm.
Did you I don't want to feel like I'm picking on Snyder, but did you hear the about Snyder? This is a little old. It's been in my list for a while,
Mm.
but his woman's story idea.
His Wonder Woman story idea?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
he was gonna do Wonder Woman,
Mm-mm.
and because okay. So this is the thing about Snyder. I think he's like me. He just sits there and like, that would be fucking cool. But the thing is, not every idea is fucking cool, you know? And that's the thing you got to remember. So, like, his Wonder Woman idea, like, it goes, I'm trying, and I do not yell at me if I got this wrong because this is a little old. But I read it, and it was basically Wonder Woman, she, like, meets a guy, likes him a lot, but because she's so old, like, she's eternal, essentially, as a god.
Mm.
She when they start to get to a certain age, she's like, yeah, I don't love you anymore. And then so we see, and then she picks a new guy, and then we see like that relationship dynamic
Mm.
going throughout centuries of her taking on people, loving them,
Mm.
and then like forgetting them when they start to get old.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, that sounds like a really compelling idea.
Mm.
And I was like, that just sounds mean. Like, why is she being so mean?
Right.
So like I don't know, man. I don't know, and that wouldn't paint her character in a good way. I guess he's trying to be like, well, if you're old, I don't know. There's other gods like
Yeah.
they'll come with Superman. He's still alive in like
Yeah.
20 something 9 or something. I don't know, probably 29.99. I don't know.
Right.
Isn't he at the end of the source like there's just like Superman being like, "Yeah, I'm Superman." I don't know. I could be wrong. Sounds like him.
Sitting alone on a rock. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's got Lois, but I mean, come on, he's only got Lois because you're not hooking up with him. Oh, that sounded really bad.
Oh my God. Good night, everybody. We'd like to thank
No,
everybody.
I just think Wonder Woman's like Wonder Woman, you know?
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like Lois is cool,
But not Wonder Woman.
nobody's Wonder Woman though, are they?
No,
No.
not even me. I'm Slappy Scroll today. For everybody who is
But
looking.
what do you think of that idea? Do you like it, hate it, or are you indifferent?
Yeah, it's what will never be.
I know.
It's
I
like
guess,
it's like okay, that's cool, but it's just. I mean, I
okay.
get it. I was just never really invested in the Snyderverse, anyways. Like that.
No, it's you got okay. This is my perspective because I'm always trying to promote us on Twitter.
Hmm.
Is like all of a sudden Snyder says, "Hey, this is my idea for Wonder Woman," and then half of Twitter's like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever!"
Mm.
Like and they're just. I'm not gonna say what went into my head, but like they think it's the greatest thing of all time, and that's cool. Like, look, honestly, if you think this is the coolest thing ever, but it's like so aggressively, I think this is cool, and then the other side is like, that is so dumb,
Mm.
and then like me, I'm like, it's kind of dumb, and like,
I've kind of reached the point of indifference. Like I
I
just
get it, because it doesn't happen. It's just when you see it all the time and interact with it,
yeah.
and you're like that, like because that is a possibility of what. But then again, like I'm not necessarily gonna like everything that we see of this upcoming one, so who knows?
Right.
I just happen to think that promotion piece, I give everything a fair review.
Right.
I mean, I do love a lot of Snyder pieces. So do you.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I think if you could take elements of him and put it in every comic movie till the end of time, it would vastly improve each one.
Agreed.
Because he's just his movies are gorgeous.
Yeah. No, absolutely agree. But like
A lot of X-Men '97's been inspired by him because Bo DeMayo or whatever. He's a Mayo, which is it?
DeMayo.
Oh, DeMayo. He's a huge fan of Snyder's. That's why we had a lot. There's been a lot of influences in X, like the first flight scene with Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That was good.
Yep.
Hey, want to do our aliens pitches next week?
What is next week?
Sunday. Yeah. Want to do our pitches? We are the pitch.
No, I know.
nerds.
I got D&D's getting harder
Oh.
because of technology.
Oh.
Like,
Okay. All right. So,
and then, like, I'm trying to improve my abilities because, like, I could potentially, like, make a living doing D&D nowadays.
I have a rant, and
Go for it.
and it involves technology. Now, I'm not I'm not old. I'm finally aged. I'm ripened. You shush,
I'm
youngling.
old.
So, age is but a feeling and an arbitrary number based on an orbit. It is completely arbitrary. Now, what was I going to say?
My feeling is I'm old.
No. I completely lost my
I
track.
get up in the morning and I'm just like walking downstairs, and then for some reason my right butt cheek down to my foot is just like, I'm not gonna work right now. I gotta go downstairs and pee. And it's like, it sucks to be you,
Right? Anyways, no, I'm gonna reserve my rant here. Let's because I need to pee and get places.
Another
so-
Family Guy thing. I'm gonna go take an old man pee. And
Yes.
it's like Carter. Oh, and it, ow! It's just like one. You hear it off camera, it's just squirt. Ow, ow. Before that, he drank a glass of water like an old man.
You're right. Oh my god. Anyways, let's. I need to hop in the shower. For everybody who watched, thanks for watching. For those of you who will watch, highly who. Anyways, we're gonna be doing aliens pitches soon. Maybe next week. Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
I'll try to fit it in. I mean,
Yeah.
I can. I'm
Yeah.
just being dumb.
Yeah. I mean.
The thing is, I need to watch. Well, let's just do that. We'll do aliens as our thing.
Hmm.
And we'll switch it for the Behold Nerds. We'll do aliens because that'll force me to watch aliens, which is what I need to do.
Okay.
I would say Alien, but Aliens is better than Alien.
They're two different movies, though. But
Aliens
yeah, so
is
the
better than Alien.
Aliens is better than Alien. However, they're two different movies.
Aliens is better than Alien.
I agree, but
I
that's like comparing a delicious hamburger to a delicious slice of pizza.
I will pick Alien 3 if you do not.
No. Now I'm gonna watch the super extended cut where they show the turret hallway, and that's fun. More moments with the character.
I just don't like aliens because I'm scared of aliens. the things that show their dick in your and then you get pregnant and then hello my baby,
Hello my darling, hello my ragtime girl.
That all sounds bad.
Yeah, God, they're just violent critters. Yeah, so we're not doing upgrade. We're gonna do aliens.
Yeah, we'll do aliens. Yeah, because we'll try and pitch next week, and then we'll
Okay.
be all caught up.
God,
We'll save up for
I
the following week.
love aliens. Oh my God, I love this movie. I love this
Well,
movie.
yeah.
I love
Honestly,
this movie.
I barely remember it. Just it's badass, so it'll be good to revisit it.
It's so,
But yeah, let's end. You're right. I got a P2 now.
Yeah, we're old. Have to take millennial peas.
Just a minute ago, you're like, I'm young. Now you're like, I gotta pee.
It's all the coffee. I hold it for 2 hours. That's a long time for an old human. Anyways, yeah, we like to. Thanks to everybody who watches, all of our supporters. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to vote for who you think won Battle Nerds. We like to end the show with a nerdy quote from Mr. Frosty. Mr. Frosty, sail us away, sir.
Yes, I can see you. Standing up for what you believe. Never giving up. Discovering you are always more powerful than you thought. Nothing I didn't already know.
I have to pee.